Oh, hello. Well, I'm going to do what I always do, check for testing. Sound check, testing. Like this is the microphone, but it's not. But testing. Sound check, testing. Speak. Okay, all right. I really have to remember to turn on the volume on that. I never do, but hey. Salutations, everyone. I am here to review another new story in a different otome, same company as the last. Okay. I'm just checking that I didn't, leave a sound on, because that would be embarrassing to hear myself. And anyways, so I read Blood and Roses' new character. If you don't know what Blood and Roses is, I did a review of it, of the last character, which was Cecil, which was a vampire character. This is a vampire otome, a visual novel. Those little romance novels things. But Japanese, or at least based in a Japanese company, but I think they do their translation somewhere else because the quality of it is meh. And everybody knows Japan has like a high standard in quality in their products. But if the translation team is cheap, which sometimes they do that, you get like there was a lot of spelling errors in this story, and I don't think Blood and Roses has that many, so whatever. Usually it doesn't, and it doesn't bother me. It bothers some people because some people are grammar Nazis, grammar enthusiasts, I should say, because that word has Nazi has taken a very well. It always has been a very dark connotation, but lately, the joke isn't funny anymore. If you know what I mean. So, let's see. I am stalling because I'm trying to spoilers. I liked the story in the Hunter arc. I should say that there's a witch arc that had 9 to 10 guys, and she was the original character. She was cool. She was more gothic. That whole first arc was gothic, which I loved. I love gothic love stories. I love when love stories don't have a happily ever after, because that's not life. Love stories don't all have happily ever afters. I like dark things. I like my favorite love story is, and I still haven't seen The Shape of Water, but I should fucking watch it because same director did a whole bunch of my favorite stories. But he did Guillermo del Toro, who won the Oscar for The Shape of Water, did my favorite, and Crimson Peak. Yes, I love that. I love it. I mostly saw it, one, because I love Guillermo del Toro and I love his stuff. But I'm going to be honest with you, I mostly saw it because of Tom Hiddleston, aka Loki. Don't hate. But, yeah, I like tragic ends to a story. I like when the protagonists don't stay together. It's me. I'm weird that I shouldn't say that's weird. It's a different preference. I just like different things. I like a different ending that isn't the status quo, I suppose. So that being said, to me the first season was better, and the Hunter arc is dull to me. It simultaneously has more story than the original and nothing at the same time. Because they added a villain, a main villain that eventually you're going to have to date, which is stupid, in my opinion, because if you build him up to be the most worst human being ever, that doesn't make me want a person ever, entity. I wouldn't want to date somebody like that. It's like that's what happens with the games. They like Norton was god awful from Oz, ruined the game. Like Norton was god awful. They built him up to be the worst thing, and they released him before Easton, and the game died. Destiny Ninjas had these two really creepy characters. They built up to those guys. They're awful. Plus, the second season of that game was shitty. It was just an amalgam of different defunct games of theirs, along with Destiny Ninja, and it was shit. I'm not gonna lie. And then, like, these men taunt of wanting to rip your protagonist into pieces through the whole thing. And one of the guys was into controlling. In fact, in the Yayoi story, he cast a spell on her that her heart will not belong to Yayoi but belong to the guy, so that's rape right there. Like drugs or Stockholm or whatever. So like, and then they gave you that character. They gave you both of those characters before they finished the second season off with the character you like. And that game is gone. And so I feel like either make the villain sympathetic from the start and not like spine-tingling awful. You can do that. There's been villains that are redeemable in stories. And if you're going to do the whole love changes a man stupid shit that I don't believe in, do it that way. Make him already redeemable. Don't do the Darth Vader shit that they did like in Last Jedi. I'm sorry, Last Jedi. It has a Jedi title, Return of the Jedi. Where Darth Vader was bad from the first movie, second movie, and then the third movie, he's like, I have kids and I have to be good, I guess. Okay, Luke. Sorry, guy I knew for years that I was your loyal slave. I'm good now. That doesn't, like, I love Star Wars people, and I love the original ones, but let's not pretend that the original ones were perfect, and let's not pretend that that is a good progression of a character. Let's not pretend that a 180 like that, story-wise, is good. And that's why I went in a diatribe with, like, villain characters that has nothing to do with this character, because it has nothing to do with Gerard. Gerard isn't a villain. But the main villain, who is in the second arc, because the first arc didn't have a villain. It had, like, it showed real aspects of human, like, people. Like, if you were dating the vampires, the werewolves were bad because they had their own agenda. And their agenda was to kill the vampires because they were hunters, vampire hunters. And if you were dating the werewolves, the vampires had their own agenda and they did bad things, but they were not necessarily evil. And that, to me, is more credible than I'm villainous and I'm evil and delightful. And then I say, I'm good because of you. I love you. That doesn't connect. I guess it's not cognitive dissonance. I don't know why I use cognitive. I've been too long on Twitter. It's the other word. It's disbelief, a suspension of disbelief or belief. That shuts me off right there in a story, any story. So we finally, after the long and nothing to do with this character, except it kind of does in a way, Gerard. Gerard, I saw that in Cecil's storyline, and I think I even said it in the I even said it in Cecil's review. He's Inuyasha. If you've seen Inuyasha, hi, I'm an Inuyasha fan. You know Inuyasha, the main character, which is a dude with it looks like cat ears, but he's a dog demon, or yokai. So he has a little cute, like, I don't know why I have him right here. Here he is. Here he is. This is Inuyasha. And it's Inuyasha. And this is his brother. He was my favorite. Inuyasha's brother was Sasomaru. I have no idea why they don't have Kagome in this set. They have Sango because they had Moroku. For some reason, the brothers that don't get along go together, but Inuyasha doesn't get his girl. They don't even have Kikyo either. Anyway, again, hi Sean. Yes, bees. So, like I was saying, if you see Inuyasha, gay bees are good. Okay. If you see Inuyasha, you know what Inuyasha acts like. He's like obnoxious, grumpy, has a chip on his shoulder, because if you watch the show or read the manga, you know that he has a reason to be. So basically, he's that. And the last one in Cecil's story, they basically made the hunter character, which she has no name unless you give it to her. I think it's Mina too. Like in the original, like I always change the name depending on how much I hate her. I call her cunt, or sorry, a bad word, but a dumbass or thoughtless prick. So like how much I hate her, I change her name, but I just stick with Goofy as my default. She didn't have these powers. I thought you were bi, though. Sean is my like friend, and we what's the word? We stream together, live stream together sometimes. Anime is for everyone. Even Ethan, he pretends to hate anime, but he loves anime. He is a big anime fan. So, I lost my turn. Oh yeah. So basically, her character had no powers. Her strength was her bow and arrow, which I already saw the parallels with Kagome, because Kagome was is a girl that travels through time. Jake from Hugo and Jake hates anime. He's weebs. He calls us all weebs. I know he's joking, but I don't think he likes anime. And Brad Jones doesn't like anime that much. He tolerates it. And anime isn't for everyone, you know? It's for whoever likes it. I have no qualms with people who don't like it. I do have qualms with people who like it and are toxic. But what are you going to do about that? Except, shun them. So, like, she has a bow and arrow. I saw the parallels, and I'm like, are they going to go that way? Why would they go that way? I don't know. And can you, like, get sued by, like, what was her name? Tomi something. The character, the lady who made both, Rumiko Takahashi. Rumiko Takahashi. Can she sue this company for, like, ripping off her characters? I don't know. So, yeah, Gerard is Inuyasha, and Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. No, Sean. No politics on this channel. None. I don't know what happened outside. I have a dickhead with a motorcycle next to me, and he likes to. So all of a sudden in last story, she developed the powers that Kagome has. Kagome has these like spiritual powers that she heals. Does she heal? I don't think she heals. But she purifies. She purifies things. and sometimes she has like a blast of energy that could kill things. And eventually she learns how to focus her energy in the arrow and her bow and arrow, and boop, she kills people at yokai or bad people like with that. So that she became Kagome, and he became Inuyasha in this route. In the other route, he was kind of ish like Inuyasha, but he was more grumpy. Like Inuyasha was in the first episodes. Inuyasha was almost like a villain in the first episode. He almost killed Kagome. Isn't that a great way to start a relationship? Isn't that a great way to start a relationship when the guy who you eventually fall in love with tries to kill you? Like, rip you to pieces? To be fair, they explain why he did that. So, basically, I'm not going to reveal the story because it makes no sense, to be honest with you. It feels like if you ever read Shonen Jump, which gave you little shonen like stories, like Naruto, if some people have knowledge of Naruto. I used to read a whole bunch of shit. Juline was one of them from my time. Nice. Now that is a romantic story that I would get behind. I used to read Juline, Rurouni Kenshin. Did I read Rurouni Kenshin? Rurouni Kenshin on that, or I just read it separately? I used to watch the show. There was like a whole bunch of things. Shonen, if you don't know what it means, it's like action, like Dragon Ball Z for teenage boys. Because shoujo is supposed to be like the romantic stuff for girls. You know, this. Let's not get into the whole politics of things, but that's what it's supposed to be like. Even though my cousin, who was male, loved the shoujos, and I loved the shonen. We both like both, but we had like more preference to one of the other, and there was like a whole bunch, but like brain is dead. Like, but I used to read Shonen Jump. If you read Shonen Jump, they gave you like different, like it's like a comic book. Mangas are like comic book. Yeah, there's no politics on this channel. I want to keep it. I mean, I talk about social issues like pertaining to the story, but I don't want to bring the awfulness to this channel because my other channel I just screamed a lot, like the last time I streamed. And that isn't fun. Like, that isn't fun for people to watch. So, I just want to make this a nice little channel for people to, like, discover these otames, which are fun. Because it has a chat, if you get it from Facebook, and you can chat with the girls or the boys who play it. You can have fun. You can connect with people. So it's gaming for somebody who has no money. Though I could play Flash games, I just don't. So the story, like you know what solves everything? Alcohol. Alcohol solves everything, kids. Don't listen to that. That's just my brain that is dying. So I do not endorse underage drinking. But anime does solve some things. I mean, it's like a stress relief, an outlet. Like comic books are, games are, anime, hiking, you like natural things like that. But I'm thinking of backpacking across my state. I need some relief because I'm almost drinking every day, and that is not conducive for good life. So why I mean that the story don't make no sense? Well, how do I say this? This story is the 9th or eighth one of this arc, and this arc has this whole vampire supremacy story. They hate the main guy who owns the hotel, which is Harold, but he's been missing since season 1, and nobody's seen this motherfucker. He's like Goku. Where the fuck are you? Where the fuck do you go? And so like this group is like you could just say it's like some like supremacist group of vampires. They don't like humans and they don't like anything else. They think everything else is inferior to vampires. And vampires tend to have that element in their stories. If you read, I used to read a whole bunch of vampire books. So they tend to have this elitism because they have some sort of nobility with them. Since they live so long, I guess they accumulate wealth. Which, you know, like in a way that sounds cool if you could accumulate wealth and somehow like inherit your own money. Because you pretend your dad inherited, and you could be like the Count of Saint Germain, like the real life account of a guy that supposedly was immortal, and and he could make lead golden from lead because he was an alchemist, and that's an interesting story. Maybe he was a vampire. Who knows? Maybe he was a lying sack of shit. Who knows? You know? So, like, there's this vampire supremacy group. There's this other storyline where the girl, like I said this in the Cecil review, the girl supposedly is in this hotel to get a cure for her sister's terminal illness. But that never comes up because she, like, gets all lovesick for the guy that you're always with, completely forgets about the village that's got to get attacked or has some epidemic, and the sister that is dying, and the mother who, and then like at the last minute they always bring up, oh yeah, she has a sister. You gotta do something about that. Yes, it's exactly Hotel Transylvania, except there's no Adam Sandler. Zero Adam Sandler. Who the fuck is revving the fucking? And why in this area? There's like a whole bunch of. There's a beach that way. Go to the beach and rev your fucking motorcycle at the beach. Sorry. Fucking assholes with their fucking bikes. What did South Park call them? The F word, which I won't repeat here. That episode of South Park where they try to repurpose the F word to, instead of being a derogatory word for gay people, just to point out who the fuck the motorcyclists are. Assholes. But, so, yeah, so she has that element going on. And then in the, yes, French, that's the F word. And she has that element going on that she has to fix her situation. She goes into the woods to find out what the fuck is wrong. She meets the dude. She goes to the hotel. And then the hotel sometimes has the group is being, like, the group of the vampire supremacy people are attacking. And now in this newer iteration, the flowers wilt. And you don't know why the flowers wilt. And again, I have to explain what the fuck the flowers have to do with anything. But there's this magical flower in the hotel that gives a magical force field. And also it cures a lot of diseases and stuff. And it also talks. It's a woman, and it came from your ancestor, who was a witch. Do you see why it's hard to describe how the story works? Because it takes elements from season 1 that made sense in season 1, puts it in this new season, kind of forgets about the whole point of it. Because if the flower wilts, the hotel will die, because the hotel is kind of alive because of the flower. If the flower is dead, the hotel crumbles and disappears. But I guess they forgot that, and I guess And I guess you're supposed to roll with it. They introduced a new character that will probably be the next guy called Rosario, which confuses the flying fuck out of me because Rosapass, which is the magical rose, was a woman, and now it's a dude. Which, okay, unless it's like a benefit, like she created him. Who knows? The flower does whatever the fuck it wants to. And then she's not the only flower in the whole story. There's like a whole bunch of them in the forest, which they, I seem, forgot about the forest ones. Did I mention the story has like an interdimensional cat that turns into a human? His name was Spade. He was from season 1, and he sometimes shows up in season 2, and somehow it's supposed to connect the 2 seasons together with the 2 different girls, but they haven't gone to that. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not making any goddamn sense. Like they're adding way too much to the story. A simple vampire gothic love story. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Gerard is half dragon, half human. You figure out how that works. But he also has this ability of having horns in one scene, and then they're all gone in the next scene, and nobody mentions why. And he doesn't mention anything either. So I'm guessing that the horns are there as a mood ring. Maybe when he's happy, the horns show up, and maybe when he's pissed, the horns disappear. Who knows? I already said what his relationship was with Cecil, I guess. I don't remember. Like, they're friends. Rival friends. And Cecil is taking over for Alfred because Alfred is the main guy who takes care of the hotel when Harold is gone. He's missing. Like I said, there's too much story. And it's a very short story, too. So they cram everything. It's short. Anyway. I'm not liking their new style that is with the early birds. They have a new super early birds like special. You're supposed to do in 6 days, and the regular early bird you're supposed to do in 14 days. I don't like it because you have to do 2 endings, and they bumped up the checkpoint. You have to do like a number, like let's say 18,000 is the number for you to pass. That's the final thing. It used to be 14,000. They bumped it up to 18,000, and you're in a hurry, and you have to keep like using all your resources to, I don't like it. And they have been increasing checkpoints in all of the games, the older games, because the older games give them the most money. It's such a double-edged sword with these games. I mean, they're fun because they're stupid and crazy. See you later, Sean. Thank you for stopping by. Have fun at work. Wonder where he works. He must work in like a salt mine or something. Those are fireworks. Don't be afraid. And don't ask me why is there fireworks like every 5 minutes. I can't control my state or my city. My favorite thing was I went to Walmart. Yeah, I know. I went to Walmart and the fireworks like are at the display. They sell them. And right next to the fireworks is a fire hydrant, like right fucking there. They know how stupid people are. They just, if you go to Walmart, you're not a very intelligent individual. I know. Either you're poor or you're not very, like, if you ever seen the website People of Walmart, you know what I mean. That was hilarious, because I remember, that reminded me of, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? story about the guy that just lit up the fireworks section in Walmart and almost burned the whole place down. Because who the fuck says, speaking of fire, but who the fuck says, yo, fireworks, an enclosed area, let me light one, nothing bad could happen. Also, the fireworks were next to the propane tanks, because that's a smart idea. But I guess they learned from that, and they basically just said, fire, you get that fire, you know, not hydrant, what's the word? Extinguisher. You stick it there, because you know these motherfuckers are dumb. And they put it in the front of the store, so none of the merchandise gets burned, just all the people exiting. Or maybe it'll block the exit if the fire starts. So that's grade A choice there. So I will not tell you the endings, because technically the endings are useless. Because they end the story in the main story, like in the main thing, and you're supposed to win these endings. There's the sad ending, the happy ending, and another happy ending. Just you decide to stay in the hotel or don't. Those are it. And I guess I could say that I preferred the toccata ending, which I usually don't. I prefer the serenade ending because you stay in the hotel, and I like the hotel. But I liked it more because it had more action in it. It was less sappy than the serenade ending, and it had no, like, that whole. I also have to complain that they bumped up the sauciness of the story, and there was, like, in the same chapter, I think they had like 3 sex scenes, and then the fight scene, in the last fight scene that you fight the villain, it just fades to black. You don't see what happens. At least that's what it felt like when I was reading it. It like faded to black. You don't see what happens, and then you come back, and they're in the room and they're fucking. So we're just like, what happened here? Are they fucking? Like, did they fuck the villain away? I have no idea. That was because they did a survey to see what you wanted to see in these stories. And apparently, of course, sex won out. I don't even know how they're getting over the Facebook censors, because the whole point of why the Facebook games are not as saucy as the ones you download from the app stores from Apple and Android is because Facebook has rules. You can't fucking just have sex scenes. Explicit sex scenes. You could have suggestive sex scenes. But there you go. They almost did. I don't know why. And then one of the endings had another sex scene. So you have like 4 or 5 sex scenes in a very short story. And you see my confusion. And oh wow. What are you gonna do? Like I said, the one thing that would have pushed this story, like I didn't say that this was one of my favorite ones of the Hunter. It was the only favorite one because the Hunter arc is boring. But this one is my favorite one because it had more action in it, and it just reminded me of Inuyasha and Kagome and all the fun I had as a teenager watching that. So you get the bonus. But the one thing it needed, the story needed, was her to say "sit boy," and boy would that been made my day if she said "sit boy" and he just smashed to the floor, and I would have just rolled on the floor because that was my favorite part of Inuyasha. He was an obnoxious piece of shit, and she's like, "You know what? Fuck you, sit," and he gets smashed in the face. Sometimes women need that, you know. And also, I forgot to say that because Gerard doesn't want to work with her, so the only way that they could get around their issue is for Gerard to get a subjugation spell, and that's basically the necklace, almost, because she can order him around, and he has to do it. So that's basically why I said it's Inuyasha. Her, the powers, him acting like Inuyasha. kind of looking like a little bit, a much more better looking version of Inuyasha, not gonna lie there. And he's darker skinned, which finally we get more darker skinned men. And, well, I think I rattled on. It's overall better. Maybe the story will get better. It's better than Cecil's, because I was so bored with Cecil's. And it's a new type of creature, too, because we only had werewolves, wizards, and vampires. And that's all we've been having until... And Reapers, recently. We had Reapers. Because that's what I want to date. A dude that's dead. Like, 100% dead. And he will kill you. Literally, if he touches you. Probably. I don't know. Not technically. The Reapers, instead of having a scythe, even though one of them does have a scythe, but they just play a flute. And that's basically how you die. But a Dragonnewt, which is half dragon, half human. Because I asked, how is that possible? Because they have an actual dragon in the story, and it's like a dragon. It's not like in Inuyasha, where the yokai can take human form, or humanoid form. I mean, I point back to this. He is a full yokai, and he has pointy ears, but he looks humanish, like humanoid. He is half. For some reason, he looks more yokai than the full, and you know, the dragon was a dragon. It was basically toothless. How does somebody fuck a dragon? Why did I ask that question? I don't want to know the answer to it. Anyway, thank you. I'm a little bit hyper because I have K-cups, and I discovered that tea is so much awesome in K-cups. And my favorite tea is black tea. And that's how I like caffeine. And that's why I didn't sleep last night. And so I have no sleep and a whole bunch of caffeine in me. And emotional distress from the world. So there's that. That's why I'm brambly and loopy and stupid. But, again, thank you for showing up. I say to you, if I say to you to this, listen to me and go forth and go on an adventure. Pick whatever ultimate you want, really. I think you should, like, Blood and Roses is one of my favorite ultimates of Solimare. And I'll stay. It's one of my favorite ones. Again, like I said at the beginning, I like gothic horror, gothic romance, gothic anything. So, pick it up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my Selena. She was the first female character in Love Tangle. So thank you for showing up for that one, too. Thank you for... and, oh, later today, my brain, sorry. Later today, I will do a review on the Luis Miguel, like my weekly saga of Luis Miguel. Will he find his mother finally? I don't know. Well, I know because, spoiler for people who watch the Luis Miguel thing, never does. At least not publicly. Because, again, there's three prevailing theories. That she left them for another man and abandoned him. That one is stupid. Nobody believes that one. That she's in an insane asylum. That's the most prevalent one that I've always heard. And the last one that I never heard that just came out, like, not just came out, but is the one that's more popular is that the father of Luis Miguel killed the mom. And it looks like the series is planting all three theories and disproving. They disproved that she left with the man. They haven't disproved that she's not dead, except that in the last episode they showed us a probable picture of her. We'll see. We'll see. So again, tune in. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. It's at 9 o'clock, and it ends at 10. So join me at 10 o'clock, 10-ish. Let's not, because, yeah. Join me at 10-ish tonight. We discuss that show, how beautiful it is, how much I love those types of shows. I like biopics, I guess. I don't know. I always have. And hopefully my caffeine high will subsided. I don't know, because I might have more tea. And maybe I will be more wired when you come back. So there's that. So if you want to, you don't have to or dislike if you hated it. Tell me why you hate it, my review. If you liked it, tell me why. Tell me if you play these games. Tell me what you think of them. Tell me whatever. You want to talk about the day. Talk about the day. Do not talk about TMI-ish things, though. I don't want to know. So, peace. Tebe.